Alright, now that we've completed all of our pre-processing, we can now take all of that pre-processed data and run it through real.exe and wrf.exe. So to do that, the first thing we need to do is we're going to start using our terminal window for wrf here rather than WPS. And this is just so in case you need to like rerun a simulation, you want to change a few parameters, you can do that in here and rerun metgrid and geogrid, and you don't have to mess around with moving back and forth between directories. So now you can just change directory like we did before. We're going to change to local and wrf v3. And in that directory there should be a test directory, and we want to move into an real directory. Now you notice there's a bunch of different test directory or bunch of subdirectories in test. The one we want is real because we actually have pre-processed data that we've run ourselves rather than something that's provided for a specific type of simulation like a tropical cyclone or a squall or something. You can see there's different ones here, EMB wave, stuff like that. So we want real. And once we're in that directory, we want to create some links to our data files, because all those data files that we've already processed are actually located in our WPS directory. So we're going to create a soft link, just like we did before, and go to the parent directory. Oops. And I'm going to tab complete this just to make sure that I'm in the right directory. That should take me to the local directory. Now if you wanted to, instead of doing the dots, you could do something like ~local and then WPS, because this is where our files are located, is in WPS. And then we want our met files, em and d01.star. So this is going to get all of our, and I'm going to make this window a little bit wider here just so you can see this better. So this is going to take and make a soft link and link it to all of the data files that start with met.em.d01. And that star just simply is a wildcard saying everything that starts with whatever's before that star. That's what we're going to link. And then we want to link that to our current directory, which is just dot. So we're going to take and link all those data files, and we're going to make links in the current directory that have the same name. So we're just going to put a dot there to signify. Now you need to make sure there's a space in between that star and this second dot, otherwise this will not work. So there should be no space between this star and the first dot, but right after that star there should be a space and then another dot. So once you do that, that should create your links, and then if we want to look at that, we can do an ls-la, and then let's take a look at met star, see what we got. Oh, that didn't really work very well. If I scroll up through this list here, I can see these links were created, and this is basically going to, and you can tell they were created just now on the 21st at 3:04. So we know these are current, they've been updated, and this is a link, a soft link from all these met files, and that's the name of the actual file, and they're located in home user local WPS. And so this is just going to allow us to access these data files without referencing them in another directory. We're just going to make soft links to them, so they appear to our program to be actual data files in this wrf test real directory. Alright, so now that we've done that, we want to take a look at our name list, but this time instead of looking at the WPS name list, we want to look at the wrf v3 name list. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll just hit N. Oh, actually, I need to be in the test real directory. And then if I hit N, it should give me some name lists here. So we want namelist.input, so we'll just double click that and then click display, because it can actually run as a script. So we want to make sure we display. We don't want to run it in the terminal. We want to click display. That'll bring it up in our GNOME editor, so in gedit. And the ones that we're concerned about here are domains and time control. So everything within time control and everything within domains is what we need to make sure is set right. Now, of course, these need to be set right as well, but we're not going to mess with any of that stuff. We don't really need to worry about it at this point. Not for this demonstration anyway. So, and you can see here that even though we had 5 days of data, I'm going to run this for 3 days, and I'm actually only going to run it from the 6th to the 9th. So we have start month, start day, start hour, and you notice there's multiple domains here as well, just like before. But down here in domains, we're going to say max domain equals 1. So even though I have data or variables provided in this namelist.input file for 3 separate domains or 2 subdomains on this domain, well, in this case they're not, but that's what they would normally be, nested domains, we're not actually going to use those. We're just going to use one of the domains. So you just need to make sure this data matches, or these variables match. So we've got start date, day, hour, minute, second. Make sure those match what you want to look at. And here we're just going to look at the 6th through the 9th, starting at 12 p.m. and going until 12 p.m. And then we just need to tell it that we're going to run for 3 days. So if you change this and you want it to run from, say, like the 7th, then you just need to make that 2 days instead of 3. And so for this simulation, we're going to run it from the 6th, and we'll just make sure that's still at 3 days. Okay, so just make sure that everything in your namelist.input matches all the stuff that's listed here. And so, and that's pretty much, it should all be set up the way it needs to be. And then if you have changed it again, you'll see that asterisk. Go ahead and save it. Make sure your name list is saved. And once that's saved and set up the way you need it, we can go ahead and run real.exe. And we're not going to pipe that or dump that into an output log, so just go ahead and type in /real.exe, and this is in your wrf.exe window. And that should start crunching numbers. Now, it doesn't take very long for real to finish, and as long as you have no errors and you get a success complete real em init, that means you're good. And now, once we've done that, we're good to run wrf.exe. Now this one is going to give us a lot of output, so, and this is going to take a long time to compile, or to run rather. So we want to run this and put it in some wrf output.log, just in case we have some errors. And that's going to take a really long time to run in the simulation. So as soon as that's done running, you can check the log, make sure the run went well, and if it did, all of your data will be in a wrf out file. And real quick, while this is running, I'll just show you that. So if we go into this directory here, where we ran our test emreal, you can see there's a wrf body, which is our output file. And there's a couple files here for input as well. So wrf input and wrf body, those are both going to be input files for wrf.exe. So if you successfully ran real.exe, you should see these 2 files. And they should actually be, if I change my view here so that I have a list, and I can make this window a little bit bigger so I can see the date. If I go down to wrf input and wrf body, you can see that those are current. So, and then that should happen every time you get a successful run of real.exe. So after you've run, after this, you can see that wrf is still going. It'll probably be going for half an hour or so. And of course, the bigger the simulation, the longer it's going to go. So you should get something like this. So you can see this is creating a new file, and it's going to dump data into it. But at the end of the run, you should have a wrf out D01 for your one domain. If you had multiple domains, you'd have a D02, D03, and so on. So as soon as our simulation is done running, we should have a data file that looks just like this, and that's what our output is going to be stored in. And that's all you got to do to run wrf.